All right, it's 6 o'clock, so I'm gonna start. Good evening, everybody. This is gonna be the slow healing, or slow yoga for healing trauma and other issues. Healing meaning it's soothing yoga. It's not gonna like get rid of whatever condition you're suffering from, obviously, but it will help with dealing with them. As always, throughout class, my dogs will show up in the picture and they don't bother me, and I hope they don't bother you either. So let's go ahead and come to a comfortable seated position. Actually, tonight, you don't even have to sit. You can lay down if that feels better to you. And just gently close your eyes. And begin to bring your attention inward. And then notice what's going on inside of you. Notice what's going on a physical, mental, and emotional level. And if you do have a spiritual practice, maybe also on a spiritual level. And just sit with whatever you find, acknowledging and trying not to judge. And then when you have a pretty good understanding of what's going on inside of you this afternoon, bring your attention to your breath. Notice how you're breathing right now. And maybe you can deepen your breath a little bit. Thinking about letting the belly come out as you inhale and pulling the navel in towards the spine as you exhale. And then try to begin with a more regimented breathing pattern by inhaling on a count of 4, holding the breath at the top of your inhale, and then exhaling on a count of 6 or more, And again, holding the breath at the bottom of your exhale. So try to do this on your own, keeping the eyes closed and staying focused on just what's going on inside of you. And then continue to breathe. Whenever we hold a pose in tonight's class, try to go back to this breathing pattern. Right now, let's drop the chin towards the chest and then begin to roll out your neck, moving in both directions. And notice where all you feel this in your neck. If you have the desire to hold the stretch for a moment rather than keeping the head rotating, then go ahead and do that. Tonight is all about what makes you feel good. So I can't see you anyway, but whatever I'm doing here is a mere suggestion of what you should be doing. You can follow me, or you can do whatever feels good to you, just as long as you stay safe with your yoga practice. Bring your right ear over your right shoulder, and at the same time hold both shoulders back and down. And notice a stretch right here on the left side of your neck. And if you like, you can try to position your chin a little differently, moving it from one position to another and feeling the stretch move into slightly different areas of the neck. And then take your left ear over your left shoulder, doing the same thing here. Maybe one side of the neck is stiffer than the other, or maybe they both kind of feel the same way. And then go ahead and drop your chin towards your chest once again. And looking straight ahead, open your eyes to soft gaze. And tonight here I have Jasper and Satya. And earlier you saw my miniature picture, Kirsa, my service dog. So right now, notice how your sitting bones are grounding you into the earth. Feel how that grounding effect holds you. And then begin to rotate your upper body over your pelvic floor and notice all the different areas where you might be tight tonight. I can feel this definitely in my hips, but also in my lower back. So tonight's practice, I'm going to pay attention to these areas and make sure that I give them some extra attention, some extra loving care. Switch and go in the opposite direction. maybe you can try to arch your back a little bit as you come forward and round your back a little bit as you move back. Das ist Kirsa. And then take it back to the center. And let's take both arms up as we inhale. And both arms down as we exhale. And then come onto your hands and knees. So we're going to move through cat and cow. You probably know this, Vinyasa. So we'll be on hands and knees. Reach out. And then exhale as you pull your body out in cat pose. And inhale as you sway your back and look up in cow pose. Exhale to cat and inhale to cow. And do this at your own pace. Notice what's going on in your back and in your spine. Exaggerate the movements. And as you come across sensations in your body, try not to dwell on why you feel the way you do. And try to just accept it and acknowledge it and work with it. Widen your knees and let's pull into extended child's pose. And once you are down, your hips are as low as they want to go right now. Place your third eye region of your forehead, which is the area right here in between your eyebrows. Place it onto the mat and firmly press it down. If you are in a position where your head cannot touch the mat, you can either use a yoga block or you can stack. Put one fist in front of you and put your forehead on the fist, or you can even use two fists. Whatever works. But pressing that area of your forehead into the mat will release a little bit of anxiety. And then come back up onto all fours. And we will just lift out of the shoulders here and then look over the right shoulder and look over the left shoulder. Maybe you can move the hips accordingly also a little bit so that you are moving your spine in a C shape from side to side. And then slowly lower yourself down onto your stomach. We will take the forearms onto the floor. So you want to press your fingertips, the heels of your hands, your forearms and your elbows down. And then as you inhale, keep pressing the lower arms down and lift your upper body up. This is Sphinx pose. And when you are lifted, try to pull your shoulders out of your ears, away from your ears, and try to lengthen your neck. All the time pressing down with your forearms and also pressing all 10 toenails into the mat. And then slowly come back down. Take a couple of breaths here. And then we'll do it again. Inhale and lift and notice how your spine feels, how your lower back feels when you do this. I want to encourage you to keep your eyes closed if that helps you to feel your own body a little bit better. Keeps you focusing within rather than on outside stimuli that might be going on around you. Slowly come back down. And then this time, we're going to take the hands next to the rib cage. So they're a little closer in now. Lower arms are no longer on the mat. And then as you inhale, come into a slow, small cobra. And with Cobra, you're not using your hands for assistance. So you're only using your lower back. Maybe you can compare how Cobra feels in comparison to Sphinx pose. Has the workload in your lower back shifted to a different area maybe? Taking a deep breath. And exhale. And then inhale into extended child's pose. And once again, press the third eye into the floor. And notice what's going on inside of you. Notice how your body is responding to these two back exercises. And then come forward again onto your knees. And this time we will come down onto the stomach, but we will keep the knees on the floor, pressing the feet down, but using the arms to help us up into a modified upward facing dog. So inhale and lift. So your knees are on the floor. The load is not too terribly heavy on your hands. And then you can just sink into your shoulders and rock from side to side. And just use this modified up dog position to find all the different areas that might be tight tonight. Just stretch a little bit, whatever feels good. You can also let your chin point up towards the sky if that feels good. Dropping it down. And then slowly pull back into extended child's pose. Now if your wrists are a little bit tired after being on them for a moment, you can roll them out right here. At the same time, press the forehead into the mat. And listen to your body for sensation. Your body may be wanting to talk to you. Press your hands into the mat, and as you exhale, come on up into your first downward facing dog. Let's walk in place and notice now what's going on in your lower body. The first time tonight we're paying attention to the lower legs, to the ankles. If you think it helps your feet, you can flip them over and stretch across the tops of your ankles. You can also rotate your ankles, whatever feels good. Experiment with widening your stance a little bit and also widening your hands. You can also add a little movement, rocking forward and back. Getting the shoulders used to moving and working. But then settle into your down dog and just hold it for a moment. You can keep your head in between your bicep muscles or you can let it all the way go. I want to remind you that tonight is not about hitting each pose perfectly. Tonight is about feeling your body's response to the different yoga poses and placing yourself exactly into a pose, exactly the way your body wants to be placed. So we don't want to push ourselves tonight. We want to enjoy every pose and use it to connect mind to body. Let's walk the hands towards the feet. Bend your knees
And let your body hang in ragdoll. So in ragdoll, your knees are bent, so your legs are loose. And then also, your upper body should be loose. And if it is not already, sometimes it helps to sway the upper body back and forth or side to side. Also to roll the shoulders a little bit. Shaking out the head helps. And then just let gravity pull on your spine, being really heavy. The crown of your head is facing straight down. And then we will interlace the fingers behind the back and slowly let the arms come around behind us. So you're using gravity to stretch out your shoulders. Arms can just fall away from the back. And your upper body is still loose. Knees are still bent. And you're taking this slow, deep breath. And then let's take the arms back to the back and let them hang and slowly roll up your back one vertebra at a time. When you get up there, slide your shoulder blades down your back and then place your hands into Anjali Mudra, thumbs to your heart. And just gently close your eyes for a moment and notice what's going on. Just notice. You can use descriptions, but try to keep them neutral. If you notice what's going on inside of you. And then inhale as you reach your arms up. And exhale as you roll your body down one vertebra at a time. And we will slowly inhale and roll back up. And exhale as we slide the shoulder blades down the back and inhale and reaching up. And exhale once again, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Notice how your spine responds to this. And then from here, we'll walk the hands back out to a downward facing dog. And then rock back into extended child's pose, pressing the third eye region of the forehead into the mat again. And noticing what our body has to say tonight. And then go ahead and widen your knees a little bit more. So they can be wider than the mat. That's good. Slowly come back down. Notice a difference between the pose that you were in first and this pose. Maybe your big toes are touching. Maybe you feel a stretch a little bit more in your inner hip socket. And then bring your knees closer together again and step your right foot forward. And here,
We will just simply inhale as we lift both arms up, lengthening through the fingertips, and then also rocking forward. So you feel the stretch in the top of your thigh of your left leg, and then also maybe in your groin area of the right leg, depending on how tight you normally are in that area. Breathing. Slowly take your hands down to the instep of the right foot, and just take this right foot to the outside edge of your mat. And then we're just going to open up the knee. So let the right knee drop out to the side and let the instep of your foot come up. So you're stretching, and here it's up to you how far you want to take the stretch. You can actively push down and forward a little bit if that feels good. But remember, again, it's not about the perfect pose tonight. It's just about feeling the stretch and making it feel really good for your own body. And then take your right knee back and your left leg forward, and we will repeat the same two poses on the side. So first, we're keeping the back knee down, and we're lifting both arms up and reaching the fingertips towards the sky. Let your right hip rock forward, and you feel the stretch in the top of your thigh of the right leg, maybe also in the groin of your left leg. Maybe you feel a difference in the two sides. If you do, just acknowledge. Don't judge it. It doesn't matter, really. We're doing all we can, and we're doing a good job. Let's go ahead and bring both hands down and wiggle this left foot to the outside edge of the mat. And then let the knee drop out to the side. Let the instep come up. Rock forward a little bit and find the sweet spot where you feel a nice stretch, but where it doesn't hurt you or where it's not strenuous, but it just feels good to your body. And then we'll hang out here and breathe for a moment. And bring your knee back. And then come into extended child's pose and press the third eye down. Noticing how your body is responding. And then come back into a downward facing dog. And sometimes for people who actually do suffer from trauma, it is really difficult to feel what's going on inside of the body. So it is not uncommon if you are a person suffering from trauma that you feel numb. And when I'm saying listen to what your body is telling you, you feel nothing. And so that is normal. And hopefully through the practice of yoga, though, you will start to feel responses from your body, and you will learn how to listen to those responses. Bring your upper body into your legs again. So walk your hands towards your feet, bending the knees and hanging in Ragdoll. And then slowly begin to roll your back up, one vertebra at a time. And then again, slide your shoulder blades down your back. And I'm going to step forward with my left foot, turning the right foot over in the rear, extending the arms forward just briefly in a warrior two. Bend your front leg as far as you're comfortable with it. And then tonight, we're going to take the right hand behind the back, so the right arm behind the back for support. And we're going to turn the front palm up and come into a reverse warrior. You can look at your top fingertips, but if that's uncomfortable for your neck, you could just keep your head in a neutral position. But think about supporting yourself well on your lower back and rocking back so that you feel a nice stretch. And then we're going to stay here for a second and just breathe and notice where you feel the stretch. And take it back out. Straighten your front leg. And again, as you inhale, rock it back. At this time, same thing with the upper body, but this time your leg is straight. And then slowly come back. And just bring your right foot forward and the left foot back, turning the left leg over in the rear. Take your arms out wide for brief warrior two. You decide how far you want to bend your front knee. And then take this left arm behind your back for good support. Turn your front palm up and come into a reverse warrior. Try to lower the shoulder away from the ear. Sometimes it wants to creep up there. We want to try to keep it away from the face and the ear. And again, if this is not comfortable looking towards your fingertips, then just look forward instead. Breathing deeply. And then come forward again. Straighten your leg in the front. Turn your right palm up and once again come into reverse warrior, this time with a straight leg. Notice if you feel a difference. And then gently come back out of the pose. Step this left foot next to the right. And inhale as you reach out. And exhale as you slowly roll it back down, one vertebra at a time. I can feel a big feedback from my body telling me that I just worked my back. So that was a little achy, a little creaky, but it's just my body telling me, talking to me. Step back into a downward facing dog. And take a few deep breaths here. And then come down onto your knees. And we will spend just a moment in hero pose. Hero pose. So sit on your heels, take your hands onto your legs if you like. You can close your eyes and check in with yourself for a moment, or you can keep your eyes open with a soft gaze. If your behind doesn't touch your heels, you can use your hands to help to prop yourself up, or you can also place a pillow or a block in between your legs and your behind. And then gently transition to a seated position. Take your legs in front of you. You can keep your legs close together or a little bit apart. You can bend your knees a little bit. Again, if you have a blanket or a rolled up blanket or a pillow you can place under your knees that makes your knees more comfortable, go ahead and do that. And then inhale as you reach up and exhale as you let your upper body fall over your legs. And tonight it's okay to round the back. Tonight it's okay to just let the head go and use your breath to settle into the stretch. We're going to stay here a moment, so allow yourself to be comfortable. You can rearrange your body a little bit if you need to. Just make sure you're breathing deeply and you're listening. And take your upper body back up. Bring your right knee in, hug it into your body, just give it a good squeeze. And then keep this left arm wrapped around. And inhale as you reach your right arm up and exhale as you place it behind you. Inhale as you lengthen your spine and exhale as you twist, looking over your right shoulder. Try to sit up with a straight spine. Whatever that means to you tonight. Lifting the crown of the head towards the sky. And then slowly come back to the center and give yourself a gentle counter twist. Switching sides. Wrap your right arm around the left leg. Inhale as you lift your left arm and exhale as you look behind you and twist. Notice if you feel a difference between the two sides. And then also notice again how your sitting bones keep you grounded to the earth while the crown of your head is reaching towards the sky. And take a back to the center. Give yourself just a gentle counter twist. And we'll take it down onto the back. Actually, let's sit up right here. Extend the left leg out and hug the right knee into the body. And as we go down onto the back, we're going to take the hands behind the calf and we're going to extend this leg. So slowly lower and straighten the leg, and then as you lay down, pull the leg towards you. So you can keep your hands on your calf, but if that's too much, you can also bring your hands to your hamstrings and bend the knee a little bit. Wherever you are, go ahead and rotate your ankle, moving in one direction and then in the other. And then just hold your foot and flex it. So pull the toes towards your face and notice how that transferred the stretch into the lower portion of your leg, calf. And if you're really pulling your toes hard, you feel this all the way down into your Achilles tendon. And then bend your left leg and cross the right leg over it. And then bring both legs into your body. So you can either just pull them in like I am doing right now, or you can take your hands behind your left thigh and pull towards you. And then you can also use the right elbow to push the right knee away from you. You decide how deep you want to go into the stretch. So it's all up to you how hard you're pulling and how hard you're pushing, if at all. And then if your eyes are open, maybe you want to close them so that you can really focus on what's going on in your right hip right now. And then bring the right leg down, take one hand behind each leg. And if your spine can rock, rock back and forth. If you are not a rocker, which people do exist who just cannot rock, and it's perfectly fine. If that's the way you are, then that's the way you are. And just help yourself up, rolling over to the side. But if you are a rocker, rock and come to a seated position, and then extend your right leg forward and hug your left knee into your body. And we'll do the same stretches on this side. So as you go down, take your hands behind your calf and slowly extend your leg as you lower your back to the floor. And then pull your leg towards you. And begin to rotate your ankle. Moving in one direction first and then into the other. Give your feet a little attention. And don't forget that you can bend your knee as much as you need to, and you can also take your hands behind your hamstring instead of your calf. And then hold your foot still. And pull the toes towards your face. And again, notice how the stretch goes from your hamstring area all the way down your calf. And if you're really pulling your toes hard, you feel it all the way down your Achilles tendon.
Let your hamstrings relax. They have the tendency to resist a deep stretch. So sometimes it takes a few breaths before you can go a little deeper into the pose. And then moving the stretch into the hip. Place your right foot onto the mat and cross the left leg over. And then pull both legs towards you. And once again, you decide how hard you want to pull your right leg in and how hard you want to push your left knee away from you. And then once again, I invite you to close your eyes so that you can really notice what's going on in this other hip. Again, try to observe without putting labels on anything you come across. Sometimes that's not so easy. Breathe deeply. And then release it. And this time, bend both knees and hug your knees into your body as tightly as you can. Allow your hips to come up off the floor, maybe, if that feels good. And slowly lower your hips again. Take your hands to the outsides of your legs. Bend your knees and then bring your knees towards your armpits so you can pull your legs towards the armpits, and at the same time though, place the tailbone onto your mat and reach it away from you. So in other words, here you do not want to curl your hips towards your body. You want to keep the hips on the floor. And then sometimes it feels good if you extend one leg and pull the other one closer and then switch sides. This is happy baby pose. And it really stretches the inner hip sockets. It should feel really good. You can also add a little rocking motion. You decide what you want to do tonight. Happy baby pose. And then just hold it for a moment. Pulling the knees towards the armpits. Breathing deeply. And then lower the feet down. We'll extend the left leg. Bend, keeping the right leg bent. Take your right arm out to the side. And then take your left hand to your right knee. And gently guide the right knee over to the left side until it's all the way on the floor. The right hip comes off the floor. And then when the knee touches, then try to turn your head to the right and place the right shoulder onto the mat. And once again, begin the process of scanning your body and noticing where all in your body you feel the stretch. Taking slow, deep breaths, observing without judging, noticing without placing labels. Slowly bring it back to the center. Align your body on your mat. Wiggle it out a little bit if necessary. And then keep your right leg straight and bend the left leg. Take your right hand to your left knee and gently guide it all the way over to the floor on the right side. And then place your right arm to the floor and turn your head to look over the left arm. Sorry, the left arm is on the floor and you're looking over the left shoulder. Try to have your shoulder touch the floor. And again, notice all the different areas in your body where you can feel the stretch. And take it back to the center. Align yourself on your mat. Wiggle it out. And then take your legs up into the air or do another inverted pose that you like better, but just make sure you're staying safe with it. If you have a pillow, a towel, or a blanket, or a yoga block, you can place them underneath your lower back, like I do with my hands right now. Then just lift your legs up into the air, closing the eyes. We will hang out here for just a moment. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. You might feel a little tingling sensation in your legs and your feet. Just observe. Keep your mind connected to your body. Let any tension in your upper body go. And slowly bring your feet back to your mat. Put the soles of your feet together. Let the knees fall out to the side. And let's place the right hand onto the belly and the left hand onto the heart. Taking a deep breath and let it go through the mouth. And then continue to breathe, noticing how your belly comes out against your hand on the inhale. And how your belly draws your hand towards the spine on your exhale. At the same time, feel your heart beat. And allow your body to begin to relax. slowly transition into your favorite relaxation position. If you like to stay in this position, you may. Just go ahead, whatever feels good to you, whatever feels best. Keep your eyes closed. And then bring your attention back to your breath and notice how it circulates through your body. You've worked your muscles and now you can use your breath to help your muscles relax. So with every inhale, ask your body to relax. And with every exhale, let it happen. So that you're progressively getting more and more relaxed, letting go of tension you might still feel in your body.
begin to make movements in your fingers and your toes. If your thumbs brush up against the pads of your fingers, notice a tingling sensation in the pads of your fingers. And bring your feet onto your mat, and on a long, slow inhale, reach your arms behind you, and then exhale and curl up on your right side. Maybe you want to make a pillow with your hands. And just thank yourself for showing up tonight. And then slowly help yourself up to a comfortable seated position, placing the hands into Anjali Mudra. Slightly bow your head. And once again, notice your breath move through your body. And feel your heart beat. Try to keep the mind and body connection going. Notice what's going on inside of you. Thank you so much for practicing with me tonight. I hope you feel good about yourself. Namaste.